Hi, I'm back with the second set of rules for the agreement of the verb with the subject. So, like I said earlier, the verb must agree with the subject. So, the very first thing that you need to do is to identify the subject in the sentence. And once you know what the subject is, whether it is singular or plural, then you will be able to decide what form of the verb to use in the sentence. It becomes much easier once you identify the subject. Okay? Now, since we finished the first set of rules, the first 6 rules, we are going to continue with the next half today. I'll just share my screen. We're going to do the 7th rule today. I'll start a slideshow so that it's easier to view everything. So the 7th rule is here. If singular subjects are connected with either or neither nor, you have to use a singular verb. Here are some examples for you. Either Jane or Judy has spilled the milk. So, where are the singular subjects? Jane and Judy. We're talking about either this girl or that girl. So, they're singular subjects and they're connected with either or. Okay. Now, since they are connected with either or, could have been neither nor also, like in the second example, you have to use a singular verb because you're talking about each one separately. Either Jane spilled the milk or Judy spilled the milk separately. So you have to use a singular verb for that. The second example, neither Joe nor Jex was at the party. Again, though there are two names here, we're considering each one as a singular, as separately. Neither Joe was at the party nor Jex was at the party, as two separate individuals. Because of that, you have to use a singular verb. Fine? So, this rule, if you find either or neither nor in a sentence, use a singular verb. The 8th rule. If plural subjects are connected with either or neither nor. Now, in the previous rule, we saw singular subjects connected with these words, either or neither nor. Now, suppose there are plural subjects that are connected with these words, then you have to use a plural verb. Easy to remember? The previous rule said that if you have these words, either or, neither nor, in a sentence, and the subject is singular, use a singular verb. This one says that if you have these words and the subject is plural, then you use a plural verb. For example, the first example, either the rats or the mice were living in the barn. You're talking about both of them, both the rats and the mice. Second example, neither the girls nor the boys were fond of soccer. Again, you're talking about all the girls and all the boys separately, but all the girls and all the boys, it's plural. Okay? The next one. If one subject is singular and the other subject is plural, and both are connected with either or neither nor. Okay, now in the previous and the 7th rule, you saw singular subjects connected with these words. In the 8th rule, there were plural subjects connected with these words. And now in the 9th rule, you have a singular and a plural subject, both connected with these words, either or neither nor. Then what do? Then you change the verb form according to the subject which is closest to the verb. Okay, now here in this case, what are the subjects here? The crows and the hen. Now the crows is plural and the hen is singular. But which subject is closest to the verb? Hen, right? Now think whether the hen is singular or plural. It is singular. Because the hen is closest to the verb and it's singular, you use a singular verb. Has eaten. Look at the second case. Neither the hen nor the crows have been here since yesterday. Why have we used plural over here, not has? Why have we used have instead of has? Easy. Because if you look at the subject here, this subject which is closest to the verb is plural. It says neither the hen nor the crows, but the subject which is closest to the verb is plural. So you use plural verb. Okay. 10th one. Most indefinite pronouns take singular verbs except for ones like few, many, several, both, all, and some. These are the exceptions. So let's go through this. One example of indefinite pronouns taking singular verbs is this one. Everybody was eager to start the lesson. You cannot say everybody were eager. Everybody is considered as one. So everybody was eager to start the lesson. Now, when do you use plural verbs? If you have these words, few, many, several, both, all, and some. For example, few of the children were absent from class. Many of the children have a sore throat. Several children have eaten early today. Both the boys have brown hair. All the eggs were rotten. Some of the eggs have a strange smell. Okay, so if you have singular indefinite pronouns, you use a singular verb, and if you have exceptions there like few, many, several, both, all, and some, then you use a plural verb. If there are two infinitives, you know what infinitives are? It starts with to. To walk, to chew. These are the infinitives. So if you have two infinitives and they are separated by and, like in this case, to walk and to chew, then you have to use the plural form of the verb, like require, because there are two things here you're talking about. So, to walk and to chew require great skill. You cannot say requires great skill, because then you would be meaning one of them. But here you're considering both, because and is there. The 12th rule. When there is a gerund, now what's a gerund? A word that ends with ing. So when there's a gerund as the subject, then you have to use a singular verb, except if they are linked by and. Yes, in English there are so many rules and so many exceptions. So like I said earlier, from my experience as a teacher, the best way to master something is to practice. The more you practice, the better you get. So let's go back to this. When there's a gerund as the subject, you have to use a singular verb, except if they are linked by and. So in the first case, you have sitting in the grass. You're talking about sitting in the grass was a bad idea, so you have a singular verb there. But look at the second example. Sitting in the grass and playing my guitar were bad ideas. And the second case, I've used were, not was. Why? Because I have two gerunds there and they are separated by the word and. 13th one. A collective noun must always have a singular verb. You have so many collective nouns, a bunch of keys, a herd of cows, you have a class of students, a bouquet of flowers, so many collective nouns. When you use collective nouns in a sentence, use a singular verb only. Why? Because when you're talking about a collective noun, you are not referring to the word that you see close to the verb, like cows, for example. You're not looking at cows, you're looking at a herd of cows. You're talking about one herd of cows, just one. When you're talking, for example, about the second sentence, you're not talking about the keys. If it was only the keys, you could have said the keys were on the table. But it's not the keys, it's a bunch of keys. How many bunches? One bunch. So because it is one here, it is was. So it's very important to first pick out the subject. So here the subject is a herd of cows. You're talking about one thing, it's singular. So you use a singular verb. A herd of cows is walking down the road. In the second sentence, a bunch of keys was on the table. 14th rule. Always use singular noun with the title of a book. For example, Gulliver's Travels is an interesting book. Now, many people might get confused with this and say, oh, it's travels. You know, many travels. There's an S there. So why do we have to use is? We should use an. Sorry. But that's not the way it is. Gulliver's Travels is one book. Gulliver's Travels is an interesting book. It's singular. Let's see if you can guess these ones. Either he or his friend has taken the sandwich or have taken the sandwich. Remember, there's either here, either or. Check the subject and see if it's singular or plural. So the answer is either he or his friend has taken the sandwich. The second one, neither he nor his friend is going to the movie or are going to the movie. Neither nor. Talking about he, his friend. Is it singular or is it plural? It is singular, and so your answer should be neither he nor his friend is going to the movie. The third one, either the girls or the boys has eaten all the candy or have eaten all the candy. Again, there's either or, but this time, if you can see, the subject is not singular, they're both plural. So the answer should be either the girls or the boys have eaten all the candy, right? The fourth one, running down the road was a dangerous thing to do or were a dangerous thing to do? Running down the road was a dangerous thing to do. What about the fifth one? A crowd of people gather on the field every morning, or a crowd of people gathers on the field every morning. A crowd of people is a collective noun. So, how would you look at it? A crowd of people. So, one full crowd of people. So, you say a crowd of people gathers on the field every morning. What about the sixth one? The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, the name of a book, the title of a book. Is an interesting book or are an interesting book? Is an interesting book, right? So, with that, I come to the end of this lesson, the agreement of the verb with the subject. And if you have any questions, please feel free to write them in the comments below, and I will get back to you as soon as I can with the answers. Also, if you would like me to cover any specific topic, please let me know that as well. Keep practicing, and I'll see you again with another topic very soon. Thank you all for watching. Have a nice day.